Aloha and welcome to Songs Made Easy here on Ukulele on the Ground. My name is Aldrine Guerrero, and today we're going to be learning Mele Kalikimaka. It's the Hawaii way to say Merry Christmas. It's Hawaiian for Merry Christmas. Mele, Merry, Kalikimaka, Christmas. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys how to play this song. I'm going to show you the chords. I'm going to show you how to hold those chords, some tips on holding those tunes, those chords, and also a nice simple strumming pattern. We'll play it together and we'll just have fun. Okay, so it's Christmas time, it's the season, and I figured I'd teach you guys one of these before Christmas arrives. You have like a couple weeks to practice it, get it ready, so that you can have a nice little concert by the fire, by the fire of your house. For you folks who have fireplaces and stuff, like
the TV of your house.
Yeah, but it's fireplace and TV. Yeah,
the TV that's playing
the
fire.
Then put it on Netflix and stuff. But Yuletide, yeah, the Yule log. So you can have something to jam with your ukulele. It's a nice, song about the Hawaiian way to say Merry Christmas. So it's good to play it on a nice Hawaiian instrument like the ukulele. All right, here we go. It sounds something like this, so you guys can get an idea. For those of you folks who don't know, here we go. Need some coffee. Here we go. And the chorus same time. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright. The sun will shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas to you. One more time, here we go. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. And here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, to say a Merry Christmas to you. Alright, nice and simple. We have a lot of chords to show you, but honestly, it's really fun, and it's a good way to practice some of these unconventional chords in the key of G. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start off with our first chord being that G chord. Pointer finger, C string 2nd fret, ring finger E string 3rd fret, middle finger A string 2nd fret. So I always give this advice of using the thumb up here to kind of hook on top of your ukulele neck like this. And what that does is it helps alleviate some of this pressure, because I know that some of you folks use your thumb to kind of plant it back here to support your your fingers. So you're kind of pinching the chord this way. Doing that might help you get the chord there, but honestly it might also put some unnecessary stress on those fingers in this joint right here on your thumb. So you might not want to do that too often. So to alleviate that stress, I usually take my thumb and kind of hook it to the top, because you don't need too much pressure in order to play those those notes, or in order to play that chord. You just take your pointer finger, ring finger, middle finger, put it in the right places, like so. So even without my thumb supporting it from the back, I can still get that chord to ring out. All right. We always say here at Ukulele on the Ground that the amount of pressure that you're supposed to put on that chord should just be enough to bring your ukulele back. And what that means is when we hold the ukulele properly with our forearm pinching the top part of our ukulele like this, it tends to go forward, right? So there should be enough pressure. So if I were to take my ring finger, A string 3rd fret for the C chord, or one of our first chords that we learned in ukulele, and enough pressure to kind of bring it back like this. Notice my thumb is here. I'm not holding it, supporting it from the from the back or anything. That's the amount of pressure that you should use or that you need in order to play that chord. So playing it like this, it's not coming out like this at all. It's coming out nice and clean with the right amount of pressure. So when you play your G chord, you don't necessarily have to use your thumb in the back and really grip it. So you can just relax, make sure that you have the right amount of pressure, play that G chord. And also, since it's 3 notes kind of bunched up together, it might be helpful to take your wrist and kind of swing it towards the headstock like this, so it gives a little bit more room to free up, so you can play your G chord. Okay, so that's your G chord. Next up, you have a D7 chord. What you're going to do is you're going to release your ring finger here and take these 2 from the G and bring it up 1 string, so that your pointer finger is on the G string 2nd fret, middle finger is on the E string 2nd fret, like this for your D7 chord. Alright, now notice when we went to the G into the D7 like this, what you're going to do now is take off your pointer finger, move that move that middle finger up 1, and then ring finger on the A string 2nd fret, pointer finger E string 1st, to have your G7 chord. Okay, that's how you go from the D to the G7. But in this case, we're going from G to G7. So what you're going to do here is from the G, you're going to release, and you're actually going to shift all 3 fingers. So it's very important to have that hook right here with your with your left thumb, because when you release that chord, you want the ukulele to still be stable, right? If you're releasing to get to a G7 chord, you're changing positions. So because you're changing positions, you're lifting up on your fretboard just a little bit, and you don't want it to kind of go off like this, like spring over. So if you're hooking it at the top, as long as your thumb is not touching the G string, and that's kind of how you check, you lift up, you're switching these 2, pointer and middle finger, so that your middle finger is on top. Notice how the pointer finger is on top right now? You're switching it so that middle finger is on top. And then you're taking your pointer finger, you're moving it back 1 fret. So middle finger goes up, C string 2nd fret, then pointer finger goes on the E string 1st fret, ring finger gets planted down on the A string 2nd fret for the G7. So for that chord, you're only hitting it that 1 time. So all you really need to learn is how to switch from G to G7. Okay? Next chord we have a C, ring finger A string 3rd fret. Nice and simple. And then we have an E7 chord, which is just A string 2nd fret. So you can use a ring finger for that, because we're going to switch to that from our C chord. A string 2nd fret. Once you have that planted down, middle finger goes to the C string 2nd fret. So wherever your ring finger goes, that's where your middle finger goes on the C string. Pointer finger then goes on the G string 1st fret. So just 1 fret back, G string. So from C, see how easily I went from C to the E7? I'm just sliding this ring finger back 1 fret and having the chord form around it. Meanwhile, my thumb is still up here and not back here. It's even more awkward with the E7 to have your thumb back here to kind of support it, because you're gripping it like this. It's kind of really awkward. So I would just take that thumb, put it up here like this. Because if you take that out, it just becomes like, like this, like a normal like a normal grip with your hand. Whereas if it goes like here, you wouldn't normally put your thumb here in the middle like this. It's kind of awkward, right? Okay, so next up we have an A7, pointer finger simply C string 1st fret. Can't get any simpler than that. Last but not least, we have an A minor chord, middle finger G string 2nd fret. So that's just as simple as our A7. A7, then A minor. A7 and A minor. Okay, now I'm just strumming with my pointer finger. I'm doing kind of faster strums than we usually do here on Songs Made Easy. So if we take our G chord and we just strum 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just taking that pointer finger and using the bottom top part of my nail. So here's the top of my nail, and if I were to to point to myself like this. The side of my nail that's closest to the strings in that position is what's going to hit. So I'm hitting it from the side like this. But notice how my pointer finger is not in a, it's not in this really straight kind of angle. When I go down, because I twist my wrist, it's like it's hitting my, the top of that nail at an angle, and then it finishes off. So it kind of twists from here, where, so a lot of people, I say this because a lot of people tend to get this, not wrong, but tend to be confused by this because they think that they're strumming with, with the side of their finger like so. It's not really the,
Can you maybe turn, like, so it's like they can see the
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, for some people, when I explain this, they'll be like, okay, well, just take your pointer finger and then just go like, go like this. Not really. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pointer finger and you're just going to relax, okay? You point to yourself. Relax that pointer finger. So I'll give it a little bit of bend like this. See that? So this will be straight. Give it a little bend. So in order to loose up that finger. Now I'm going to twist my wrist. And notice how the angle changes from this angle to hitting the strings at this angle. And then down strum. And you're using the top of your nail, see here, see that? To glide through the strings. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Top of the nail will slide through the strings. Okay, and you don't necessarily have to do this either. I'm just kind of tucking my fingers in so that you can clearly see my pointer finger. But for the most part, you can leave your fingers open. So a lot of people get confused by that as well. They feel like they have to strum like this, like the entire time. No, not necessarily. It's just so that you can see my pointer finger a lot clearer. So you can relax. Just have your fingers down there. Just relax your fingers. Just like with the pointer finger from going straight on to nice and relaxed like this. See how relaxed my fingers are? And when I strum, it's down, 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 down. Okay?
Something people also do is like they just use their finger to strum, right? Like they curl it in and they kind of like just do that. And like with this, like you really want to use your wrist though, right? Like
so the wrist is turning. And that's going to be good later on when you start getting into things like rolls and chunks and stuff. So it's good to kind of get that motion now. Okay? So it's going from this angle to kind of hitting it at the top, using that nail to kind of slide through like this. All right, so let's practice that. Let's practice our verse. So our verse is going to be G. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2, 2, 3, 4. Then 3, 2, 3, 4. So the first part is basically 3 measures in G, and then we go to our D7. And we have 4 measures in G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now the way I'm counting the first beat as counting the measures. So 1 measure, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 as a measure 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then 3, 2, 3, 4, then 4, 2, 3, 4. That's to ensure that I get the full 4 measures that I want. So once again, G for 3 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then D7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it goes G for half. 1, 2, and then G7. 1, 2, and then C for 1 measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then E7 1 measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then A7 half. 1, 2, D7 then half. Let's review. We have G. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. 2, 3, 4. that's the island greetings that we send to you on the land where palm trees sway. 2, 3, 4, right? So G, D7, then back to G so far. And then we're gonna go G half and G7 for half, and then C for 1. So here we know that Christmas will be C, green and bright. 4. Then E7, the sun to shine by day and all the, and then A7 to D7, stars at night. So let's check that out again. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Alright, so for the most part, G, D7, G. That's the first part. Then G, G7, C, and E7, A7, D7. And then the last part goes Mele Kalikimaka. So G for 1 measure. Mele Kalikimaka. E7 is Hawaii's way. Then here we got some quick changes. A minor, D7 to G. So it's the only time you're playing A minor, which is A minor here. Say a Merry Christmas. Then D7. So half on A minor. Say a Merry Christmas to G. So once again, that last part. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas to you. And in the end, if you wanna repeat that, a little bit more, all you're doing is A minor, D7, then back to A minor, D7, A minor, D7. When you're ready to end, then go to G. So when we did to say a Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, to say a Merry Christmas to you.
That's
all right.
That's kind of just like the ending of the whole song.
Yeah,
right?
of the whole song. If you want to end the song.
If it repeats, like, or if you're going back to the verse, you just
repeat.
Yeah, go back to G.
Yeah, and if you want, if you want a visual of all this, we do have downloads over at Ukulele Underground. So all you gotta do is click on the link below. That'll get you signed up for our newsletter, and the newsletter will have a link where you can download all of this PDF and pretty much every single PDF that we've done for Songs Made Easy. So if you're joining us for the first time, here's a great opportunity to check out all the songs that we have available for Songs Made Easy. If there's something that you want to learn, check that out. We do have the full lessons still available. We have them archived over on our YouTube channel. So watch that, learn whatever song that you want from our list, and have fun. Okay? And same thing with this. If you're having a hard time switching to some of these chords, don't worry about it. Just practice it as best as you can. I don't expect everyone to kind of get this song with the 30 minutes that that we're doing to teach this. But just try your best. Even if you have to just mute the strings to just to substitute for a chord. So for example, if I'm going to say a Merry Christmas to you, all I did was just place my hand over. If I don't know how to play that next chord. You just boom boom. Every chord in the book now. So you can just place it. That's called a Z chord. The Z chord can be a substitute for every single chord in the book. Make sure you take advantage.
The hardest part of this song really is like those two beat chord changes, right? Mm-hmm. So like even that, you can just practice those by itself, right? Like going G, G7, G, G7, or A7, D7, A7, D7. If you do that, like that's an exercise that should help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first change, from G to G7 it shouldn't be a quick change. I mean, you've been holding G for I think a measure and a half before then. But the quick change is G7 to C, and all it is just using the ring finger as an anchor, lifting up your pointer and middle finger, and then sliding that ring finger to the C. Okay? And the other one is A7 to D7. So that one's a little bit trickier. And you can kind of practice that over and over. And last but not least is the A minor to D7, which is really, really simple. Just keep your pointer finger there and then just add your middle finger and lift it up, add it, lift it up, whatever you got to do to get that change. Okay? So let's try to play it together. Follow along. And once again, you can always download that PDF follow on the PDF if you're having a hard time following along with us. But just watch your fingers, see what where we're changing or what chords we're going to. But there's more structure in the PDF, so check that out. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas to you. Repeat, here we go. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, to say a Merry Christmas to you. Bam! Bam, 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 bam. Now it's Mele Kalikimaka. Nice and simple. There is quite a bit of chords, but like I said, the chords are simple enough that you can switch between them pretty easily. And it's also a good song to kind of practice those unconventional chord changes, because you're not going to see too much G to E7 chord change, but you will, in some songs that are a little bit more complicated, you will see those. It's kind of good to get them, get them practiced now with a song as fun as Mele Kalikimaka. So this song, you can really only play it this month, I mean, I guess you can play it whenever you want to, but appropriately, like just this month. So it's a good song to kind of start working on and getting familiar with new chords and kind of opening up your world to some new chords and some unconventional changes. Like G to A7 is another one. E7 to A7 to D7. Really, really unique changes, for beginners right now, because those are, not common for beginner songs. And this is not necessarily an advanced song, because, that we're doing it for songs made easy, and it's just nice down, down, down strums. But we wanted to kind of get you exposed to some of these newer chords and newer chord changes, so that you're familiar with that. And you're not going to be a stranger to it when you do see it in another song. You'll be like, I've played this before. I played that chord change before. I know exactly what to do. I know how this works. Thank you, UU Plus. Or Aldrine Guerrero and Ukulele on the Ground, songs made easy. Thank you for getting me ready for this moment. Right, Kahai?
Yeah. I think with our original lesson of this song, people kind of have I think people kind of had a trouble knowing when to switch exactly, because it is things that you don't normally hear, right? But then when you do get used to it, like if you listen to it a lot and you kind of listen for, okay, it's Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright, you can hear the changes where they're supposed to happen. And besides changing to different chords, if you guys practice that's something you guys should take time to try and get. It's a good skill to have, just feeling when the chord should change, right?
Yeah, and it's good to kind of build up your ears that way, so you can hear the changes being made. But for this particular song, it's not too bad. I mean, there are some quick changes, we were saying with the half measure changes, but it's not too bad when you really take your time and just anticipate the changes. That's what I'm doing, when I'm playing this song. I'm kind of looking forward and anticipating the A7 to the D7, also A minor to the D7, things like that, or G7 to C or G to G7. I'm always kind of thinking ahead, and I'm like, okay, well, that's coming up. But if I just kind of stay calm and I know that this is kind of in blocks, right? So it's like half a block, for this chord and half a block. There's nothing completely out of the blue where you're just like, this one gets like 3 beats and then you're going in 1 beat. It's not too complicated. It's still even beats. So it's not too bad. It's just kind of take your time. That's the key for this. Take your time, calm down, anticipate the changes ahead, and adjust accordingly. I think is what should be done with this tune.
Yeah.
All right. So let's play this one more time to kind of nail it in back home. 1, 2, ready. Go! Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greetings that we give to you from the land where coconut trees sway. We don't have palm trees. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas to you guys. Here we go. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day, Christmas day. Well, that's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say a Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, to say Mele Kalikimaka to you.
I think there's. I think you added pigeon to the song when you didn't mean to.
Where?
You said that's the island greeting.
That's with a D.
That's yeah.
That's.
So I was like,
that
laughing.
one is the island greeting.
It's like even when you're not trying to, you're kind of.
Yeah, I've always had a thing for the palm trees. I mean, I guess we have palm trees, but and coconut was
more,
too much,
yeah.
too much syllables in there. But it's not. Yeah, palm trees isn't really a. It's like a California thing, right? Palm trees.
Yeah, more
of a California thing.
Like we have cocoa palms, right? And it's just all coconut trees. So
come on, Crosby. You're better than that. All right, but it's pretty much checks all the tourist boxes, the Hawaii tourist boxes, right? Mm. And in that song, it's like it's a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. It's super gloomy out right now. It is Christmas season. It's super gloomy out. I'm waiting for a bright Christmas day. Yeah. Let's see. The sun is shining sometimes, but not this past Sunday when I needed it to shine.
I always feel bad for like tourists who come, like they're like, oh, I'm from Canada and it's like snowy, right? So we come here, so it's nice, and then it's just downpour or something.
Yeah,
like,
but
sorry,
I like people's attitude still yet. Like I worked in the hotel business for a long time when I was starting off. And whenever I talk to people, like a lot of them are just like, hey, it's better like you said, like, oh, we're coming from Canada where it's like super like super snowy and whatever. And they're like, oh, at least it's not Canada.
Don't have to put on snow tires
exactly,
or whatever.
We're here, sure, it's raining, but hey, it ain't Canada.
We're not getting snowed out or anything.
Exactly. So or it ain't like Nebraska or whatever, and those places are fine, but I'm guessing in the winter it gets super cold and gloomy. And
I always like when like during the jam or something we're like, oh, it's getting pretty nippy here at 70 degrees or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And people
they're
are
like, it's negative 12.
Yes.
Oh, it was like in the 60s last night. It was like 68.
Excuse me, I had to cuddle with my polar bear for more.
They had to go to their igloo.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only igloos that we know are ice boxes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Songs Made Easy. We do this every Thursday, so make sure to check back in next week Thursday where we'll have a brand new song to teach you. We've been doing this for over a year now, right, Guy? How long have we been doing this?
I
for about a year.
Remember. Yeah, at least about a year.
It's been a long time, so make sure to take advantage of all the past songs that we've taught. That means if we have done this over a year, that means there's about 50-something songs for you guys to learn. If not, it's pretty close to at least 40 songs. It's kind of a lot of tunes that we've done so far. So check those out. Learn yourself a song or 2 or 3 or 10, and show them to your friends, and spread the love, knowing that it is this easy to learn songs on the ukulele. Okay, so we're gonna get going. We'll see you folks next time, but make sure to keep it locked in here if you're a UU Plus member to the one-on-one coaching. Go to your dashboard on Ukulele on the Ground Plus and click on the banner to join us for one-on-one coaching happening at 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. We're going till 4 o'clock or till we've answered every single person's question. Have a great one, and looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at the Songs Being Easy Jam and Aloha Friday Live Jam. We'll be jamming out some Christmas songs. All right, we'll see you folks next time. Aloha.